Alright, welcome to my first tutorial. I'm going to attempt to show you how to use Anime Studio in conjunction with Photoshop so that you can make images wiggle around and look as if they're moving, cartoons even. Basically, you're going to want a script from the Anime Studio file. You need to go to wherever Anime Studio is located on your computer. See, it'll be program files or program files 86, mine's 86. Let's see, and what you're going to look for in this isn't Anime Studio, but rather, where is that? Smith Micro. And there you go into Anime Studio Pro, you go to Extra Files and Export Layers to Anime Studio. And then, basically, you're going to copy that file, and you're going to go out of that and go to wherever you plan on storing all of your images. I have the Death Folk channel or whatever, so I'm going to go there, and basically you just sort of paste it at this point in time. And there you go, export layers to Anime Studio. And that will come in handy in just a minute. Alright, next you're going to want to open up your Photoshop. And just pick a file with whatever you want to animate. Go ahead and that might work for our purposes now. Scale it however you need it. You're probably going to want a better quality file than this, but the tool that you're going to use here is going to be this little lasso cutter. You can also use the tool below it, which will get blocks of it, but I always use this tool. It's good for basically just sort of cutting things up really well. Alright, and I apologize for the quality of this. I'm holding a camera with one hand and working a mouse with the other. Basically, you section off the head, then you go and you right-click it, and you basically put Make Layer via Copy. And there you have it right there, and then you go back to background. You need to do that, otherwise the next limb that you select won't work. What you're basically doing is chopping this thing up into the parts that you're wanting to move around on Anime Studio. And let's see, you make layer via copy. Then let's see, let's get the torso. This will be really sloppy, have beard and everything. Normally I have more articulation than this, but just for the purposes of this, we are going to go with minimum articulation. And make layer via copy. We won't bother with the feet right now. Okay, and next what you're going to want to do is go to File, and you're going to want to go all the way down to Scripts, and you hit Browse for Scripts. And what you're going to do is you're going to find that Export Layers to Anime Studio file, and you're just going to click on it. Or, well, double click. Okay. And next you'll get all this, you get to name it or whatever. I'm working on a Christmas Ground Zero thing right at the moment. Sure, we'll just put it under there. We'll just type file name man, and this will save a Anime Studio file. Let's see, you should get screen like this. Just basically click OK, make it go away. And let's see, export layers to Anime Studio was successful. Okay, and now we're done with the Photoshop portion of it. Alright, next you're going to want to open up Anime Studio, and when you open it up you'll get this screen with this little guy that you can move around if you want. Let's see, what you're going to want to do here is start a new document. And basically you just press new, you'll get this shiny new screen. I don't know what my toolbox is doing over here. This is usually over here, but when I put it over there it interferes with the menus. Once you have it on a new screen, you're going to want to go to your file and import, and then you go all the way down beyond the line and you want to import Anime Studio object. And let's see, in next you basically find your movie where you've saved it. I save everything under a Photoshop's file. Let's see, I had saved it under Christmas at Ground Zero. This will be different on your computer, of course. And basically it's this man file. That's what I called it. And you open it, and there it is. It looks like it did on Photoshop. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is delete the background, because you're not going to want that. You just go there, you press the trash can button, and it says, yeah, are you sure you want to delete the selected layer? Yes. And next you're going to want to add bones to it. It's already, a bone layer is created, and don't worry about the terminology. What you're going to want to do right now is basically put bones in it as if it is a thing that you're going to move around. You're going to set up the skeleton of this thing. So basically you're going to go to your toolbar, which is usually over here. So I'll put it over in that region. That's where you'll find it. You need to have your bone structure highlighted when you do this, by the way. So make sure it's not on one of these down here. Make sure it's on that. And going back over here, you have this add bone command. It's a bone with a plus sign under it. And basically, I've clicked it, and you start at the bottom of the torso and go up. This is going to be sort of like the bone song. This bone's connected to that bone. So the torso is connected to the head, and the part that you start at is the point that actually is moving, sort of the pivot point. So you're going to want to remember that and go out from all the parts that you want. Looks like I messed up and didn't import his other arm. We won't worry about that. But you do the head, then you get an arm as well. You'd get another arm if you want. I could put an arm there, and I could put a leg here, and a leg here, even though they're not present in this. Okay. And now you have the problem where basically the torso is connected to the head. That's correct. Those two go together. But then the next one I went for was the arm, and that's connected to the head right now. What you're wanting to do is reconnect the arm to the torso, and this is the part that really took me a long time to get down. I don't know why. What you're basically going to want to do is press this button so that you can select a bone, and then you select that bone, and you press this linking thing. It looks like a chain. Chains link, I guess. Then you see it's showing you where it's connected with this red line right here. You don't want it connected to the head, you want it connected to the torso bone. And then you have this arm as well, and what you have to do is you have to go back and it's sort of annoying. You go and click that each time, click the bone and click link and put it there, and that arm's connected. Then you click here and connect that to the torso. And then you connect this to the torso as well. You see it's connected to the last bone you put in. You want it connected to the torso. Alright, at that point you ought to be able to move all the bones. The head doesn't move at oh well, it kind of moves at this point, but it's a weird animation that you can't do once you have the whole bone structure together. I wish you could. Maybe there's a way, I don't know, but don't worry about that at the moment. What you're going to want to do now is connect the different parts of the body to the bones. So basically you're going to have to go back to this little thing off to the right, and you click, let me back it up a little bit so you can see more. Click layer 1, puts the box around the part that's highlighting, that's the head. What you're going to want to do is go over here and click this. It's a bone by a piece of paper, I guess a bone getting wrapped in paper or something like that. And when you click that, it says bind layer. You need to go and you need to put the bone that you want to bind the head to. And there you've bound the head to it, and you're going to want to bind every other part too. So you go down the line in the skeleton, and you bind that to, I can't even tell if I got the bone. Okay, that bone. The bone turns red once you highlight it. Then you go here, that's the torso. You put it on the torso bone. That turned red again, so you know that you've highlighted the right bone. And then you go down to that, and I guess that's torso bone as well. We didn't get the arm somehow, so but at this point you can actually make sure you highlight the entire bone structure at this point so that you can play around with it. What you're going to do is press manipulate bones. It's a bone with an arrow above and below. Basically now you can go here, you can make the head move. If it had an arm on this side, you could make it move. If it had an arm over here, you could, oh, it does have an arm, but you can make it move. If you see though, this arm is behind the head. Arms are generally in front of the face and stuff, so that looks weird. So what you're going to want to do is sort of reposition them. They are in order here. The head is on top. The arm is next. We'll put the arm layer over the head layer. And now, when you move it, well, if I had cut it a little closer, it'd look better, but you can see the cross thing goes over his face a little bit. You can move the whole thing like that, make him sort of dance around a little. Okay, so once you get a feel for moving the bones like that, next thing you're going to do, or the next thing you're going to want to do is go down to the timeline. You have frames here, 0 of 240. And the way you get to different parts of it, you click on this blue part. You don't click down here, that won't do anything. Make sure you click on the blue part, and you can go to different parts of it. It only goes up to 240 frames. You can raise that to as many frames as you want. My computer can really only handle about 1500, and I usually only work with 250 to 500 frames, but I mean, just to show you, you can. I'll put it up to 255 and add a few frames so that you know the length better. Basically, you'll get a feel for the length before too long. Now, what you can do is go to various parts of it. You go to like this part of the timeline, and you make sure that it's the skeleton that's or the bone structure that's highlighted. Don't worry about that. That's virus program updating. And once that's located, make sure you go back to this icon of manipulate bones. Alright, now this is almost 30 frames into it. You can raise the bone like that. Move this here, move the head a little, and the torso. And then you go back to the beginning and you can play it, and you can see sort of how it moves, and you can set up the entire thing like that. But what I like to do, and I'll go ahead and get rid of the animation. I'll clear animation from document. Yes. Okay, that sets us back to the beginning. What you can do is you can set it on play. Play, there we go. And as you see, that starts going like that, and nothing's going on, but I'll back it up so you can sort of see everything happening. You can, at that point, make it sort of move around like this. And this is how I do a lot of the animations. I animate each limb at a time, and after a while, it'll catch up with itself. It loops around. Okay, you have that head moving. You can start moving this. Once it catches up with the point where you start moving it, it will take control again. Yeah, right there. You can basically get the whole thing sort of moving. And again, you're going to want to crop the images a lot better than I've cropped this one, because there's so much area around that cross it's blotting out his face. And you just sort of get all the limbs moving however you want. And you basically sort of have that thing right there. And if you're like me, then you don't have enough memory in your computer to actually do a lot with Anime Studio. So what I do is I make a green screen file out of these, or a blue screen, depending on how much blue or green is in a document. What you're going to want to do to get this, and this is only if you have the ability to use a chroma key or something to take out a color from the background. But you go to the first layer that was created when you click New. And once you do that, you get a different set of options. Well, you should get a different set of options. Actually, you have to move the timeline all the way back to 0. So you move it there and you click on 0. I don't know why you have to do that. It'd be so neat to do it here throughout the whole document, but oh well, we work with what we got. You can get the freehand, and then I have a green screen, so I go over and click the green. You can see the fill color there. And basically, you can take it and you can go all the way around with this and connect it up, and there you have a green screen underneath it, and you can play it, and basically he moves around and dances and does his thing. And when you open that up in like Vegas Pro or something, you can cut out the green and only have the man moving. Alright, and now it's time to save the file. Now, my computer is very bad with Anime Studio, so I have to do some toggling just to get it to work. Let me move this tools out of the way. You won't have the problem with moving the tools out of the way. I don't know how I dislodged it. I'll figure it out later. You're going to not... You can save the file, and this will save like... it won't save a file that you can play in other formats, but it'll be like a quick file that you can get to if you want to do more tinkering with it. You basically save as an Anime Studio file, but you're not wanting to do that. You're wanting a movie that you can put on to different formats. Export animation. Alright. You can click how much of the animation you want. You can even start at a different frame, end at a different frame. If you want to cut the beginning out, I always do AVI movies, but you have all these things. Watch doing like BMPs and things like that. You don't, if you accidentally click on a JPEG or a BMP, then you're going to get a million pictures. It's going to split it up into 255 pictures, I guess. What I do is I unclick every one of these things because my computer can't handle any of them. And then I click OK. And you save it wherever. Let's see, I always have sort of a Blue Movies file that I save this stuff in. Let me just put like man as the name. Or well, N, that'll work. Okay, and you save it. It will do this little thingy. You press OK, make it go away. It'll show you bit by bit as it uploads, or converts the video rather. I barely know what I'm doing, so I don't really know all the terminology. I apologize. But for me this works. You could upload, you could put this in like Vegas Pro or a similar program, get rid of the green screen, put a background behind it, and you know, just layer the entire document and create a really neat scene with it. And as you see, it doesn't usually take too long to get it unless you have a really, really long file. This does take up a lot of space to do these little things. But basically, once you have this, you have a movie that you can integrate into other programs. It'll automatically open it with my program. I think it's just set up to do that. I have, oh, whatever that thing is called. Kind of looks like a Sega Saturn logo to me, but yeah, Power DVD. And you can play this on any type. Oh wow, reflection. Cover up my man boobs. Let's see. Okay, and that's what the finished product looks like. Kind of creepy. These things always turn out a little creepy, but yeah. And there you go. Blah.